And hello, everyone. A very pleasant good evening here live from the Boshemer Gymnasium here on the campus of Brevard College for a USA South men's basketball conference matchup. Here at Brevard, it'll be the Tornadoes against Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer sitting at 3-7 overall. The Nados sitting at 4-9. Both teams really in need of a big win here tonight. And both teams winless in the conference as well, although a small sample size. Brevard 0-2 in the conference, Pfeiffer 0-1 in the conference. Both teams coming off losses as well, an 87-55 loss for the Nados against Southern Virginia, and then a 80-60 loss at North Carolina Wesleyan for Pfeiffer. Nados sitting at 1-6 all-time versus Pfeiffer, which obviously when you flip that over, a 6-1 all-time record for Pfeiffer against Brevard. Their last matchup, January 18th, 2020, a 94-87 loss in overtime for the Tornadoes. When we get back here in just a moment, we'll look at the starting lineups, look at some of the leaders for each team, and how it may bode for tonight's matchup between the two teams. In other news, the Brevard College women's basketball team has their undefeated conference record on the line at halftime in Greensboro, leading 33-32 over the Greensboro Pride. Both teams top two in the USA South Conference. Both teams undefeated in the USA South Conference. And once again, the Nados holding a 1-point halftime lead there. We'll keep you updated throughout the ballgame on that one across the state. In the meantime, once again, we'll be back in just a moment with starting lineups, stats, and more. And then soon after that, we'll have the announcement of the starting lineups of the national anthem. And then it'll be time for some basketball here. Tornadoes against Pfeiffer coming up here in just a few minutes, about 15 away. Back here again from the Bosch, and both teams, well, the NATOs have left the floor now. Pfeiffer still out on the floor warming up, about 10 minutes away from game time. Also, right about 10 minutes away from the second half, resuming in Greensboro for the Brevard College women's basketball team, leading by 1 at the half against Greensboro. While we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at the two team starters. For Pfeiffer, number 1, MJ Armstrong, a sophomore guard, 6'3", 205 out of Gastonia, North Carolina, Gaston Day High School, a transfer from Lander. Number 12, Roshamel Butler, a junior guard, 6'4", 200 out of Ridgeland, South Carolina, Ridgeland High School, transferred over from South Carolina State. A lot of transfers on this team. Number 15, Damon Beckwith, sophomore guard, 6'3", 175 out of Jacksonville, North Carolina, Liberty Christian High School. Number 22, Taylon Rowe, a grad student, guard, 5'11", 190 out of Oakboro, North Carolina, West Stanley High School. And rounding out the 5 for Pfeiffer, number 33, Jordan Bird, a senior guard and forward, 6'8", 180 out of Mebane, North Carolina, Eastern Alamance High School, led by head coach Pete Shuck in his 5th season, graduate of Michigan. Assistant coach Don Spencer in his 2nd season from Eastern Michigan, and graduate assistant coach Ryan Lundvall in his 1st season, a Gonzaga alumni. And now, after that, let's get to the Tornado starters. For the NATOs, number 5, LB Boyette, junior guard, 6'4", 190, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Queens Grant High School. More on Boyette here in just a minute. Number 10, Carson Evans, a junior guard, 5'10", 165, out of Charlotte, North Carolina as well, Butler High School. Number 12, Jaden Carnes, freshman forward, 6'4", 170, out of Concord, North Carolina, Mount Pleasant High School. Number 13, Kevon KK Horton, sophomore guard, 6'2", 180, out of Asheville, North Carolina, Asheville Christian Academy. And the 5th of the 5, number 32, Chancey Watson, usually in a bench role in the starting lineup tonight, senior guard, 6'1", 190, also out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Olympic High School, transfer from SWU. And as you see, 3 of the 5 starters for the Tornadoes are from Charlotte, North Carolina. And as I said, more on LB Boyette. Boyette averaging 15.2 points per game. That's good for 5th in the USA South Conference, 4.2 rebounds per game, and 3 assists per game. Quincy Carter, who is not in the starting lineup, we are not sure if that is injury-related or what. No speculation there yet. 13.8 points per game for him, 3.7 rebounds per game, and 2.6 assists per game. And also Carnes, the freshman mentioned, has been getting a lot of the starts lately. Started off the season on the bench, but now has 9 starts in 12 appearances. NATOs have played 13 games total, but he has played in 12 of those and started 9 in those games, 7.2 points per game and 3 rebounds per game. The true freshman coming in and playing in the post against some really big guys and some really good competition in this USA South Conference, more so now even as we start to get into consistent conference play in the months of January and February. Carnes definitely playing very well for Coach Lee Burgess, and he's got to be happy with what he's gotten out of the freshman from Mount Pleasant High School so far. For Pfeiffer, Damon Beckwith, 14 points per game, leading scorer, 3 rebounds per game, 2.3 assists per game. And also Taylon Rowe, the grad starter who we talked about, 8.9 points per game, 3.1 rebounds per game, 2.1 assists per game for him. And not put on the roster anymore is Cunningham. Alex Cunningham, number 99, is not on the roster that we were given, averaging 9.4 points per game, 2.4 rebounds per game, and just over 1 steal per game. Not sure what the deal is with that, but about 5.5 minutes away from National Anthem and starting lineups being announced here. Don't go anywhere. Here live from the Bosch, Pfeiffer and Brevard coming up, USA South basketball here in just a moment.
USA South matchup between the visiting Falcons of Pfeiffer University and your Brevard College Tornadoes. Brevard College welcomes the fans and visitors who made the trip for today's game. Ladies and gentlemen, the USA South Conference and the NCAA encourages and promotes good sportsmanship by its student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or ethnic comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated on grounds for removal from the site of competition. Also, the possession of consumption of alcoholic beverages or tobacco products is prohibited. Fans, don't forget you can follow the Tornadoes on the internet at www.bctornadoes.com. Get all the scores, stats, rosters, highlights, and much more. That's the Tornadoes on the internet at www.bctornadoes.com, your worldwide home of Brevard College athletics.
Moments away from tip-off here, folks, and here in just a minute, PA announcer Ray Gill will have these starting lineups, and the national anthem will be performed here at the Bosch just a moment away from game time, and we'll give it off to Ray here.
The Brevard College Athletic Department respectfully asks that you please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Falcons of Pfeiffer University. Head guard, a 6'3" sophomore from Gastonia, North Carolina, number 1, MJ Armstrong. Head guard, a 6'4" junior from Ridgeland, South Carolina, number 12, Rushamel Butler. Head guard, a 6'3" sophomore from Jacksonville, North Carolina, number 15, David Beckwith. Head guard, a 5'11" graduate from Oakboro, North Carolina, number 22, Taylor Rowe. And at 4, the 6'8" senior from Bay, North Carolina, number 33, Jordan Bird. The Falcons are coached by Pete Scotch. And now, the starting lineup for your Brevard College Tornadoes. Head guard, a 6'4" junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 5, LB Boyette. Head guard, a 5'10" junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 10, Carson Evans. At 4, the 6'4" freshman from Concord, North Carolina, number 12, Jaden Carnes. At guard, a 6'2" sophomore from Asheville, North Carolina, number 13, KK Horton. And at guard, a 6'1" senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 32, Chancey Watson.
And just about ready for tip-off here. NATO's and Falcons, both teams needing a win badly here. Both teams looking for their first conference victory as well. NATO's 0-2 in the USA South. Pfeiffer 0-1. A small sample size for both as we hop into conference play these next 2 months. And it'll be Boyette and Bird for the tip-off. The ball goes up in the air, and that one will be taken in by Chancey Watson. NATO's are going to get the ball first. Carson Evans with it, now gives over to Horton. LB right side to Chancey. Chancey looking for a pass up top, LB. Couple of dribbles, now gives to Evans. Up top, Carnes, one dribble, looking for a cutter. No, gives to LB Boyette on the left wing. Now hands Horton. Horton goes inside with the left, pull up at the free throw line, no good. Rebounded there by MJ Armstrong, and the NATO's empty-handed on possession number 1 of the ball game. Butler up top. To his left now, Rowe. Rowe looking for a cutter, and it's over his head. LB Boyette intercepts it. LB coming up the floor, pass to his right. Carson Evans in transition to the corner now. Chancey Watson. Watson bringing Evans back towards him, gives it to him. Now up top, LB. LB a couple of dribbles to his right now. Watson. Watson facing up. Now Evans. Evans with his back turned. A couple of left-hand dribbles, going in strong, putting it up with the right hand. No good. Rebound there by Bird. Butler with the basketball. Coming up the left side. Big frame going against Evans, who runs into a pick. Now going against Carnes. Pass out into the corner. Pump fake. Now going inside, working on Boyette. Spinning around, and now a long pass over the head. And, out of bounds. No, Horton gets it and puts up the layup. Hustle play there by KK Horton. That was Damon Beckwith who floated that pass over the head of Armstrong, and Horton stopped it from going out of bounds. Armstrong assumed it was going to, and it didn't. 2 points for the NATO's. Up top now, Butler working on Evans, trying to go in strong, puts it up off the glass to the left. Rebound, Chancey Watson. Watson brings it up to Horton. Left wing, now back to Chancey. Chancey calling out the play. Up top, working on Armstrong. Looking around, stepping back, getting a screen, now doubled. Goes over to the left wing to Horton. Now Carnes, left side. Left wing now, Chancey Watson. Watson up top to Carson. Carson, a couple of left-handed dribbles, hands to Watson. Watson fires up a three and cans it. Chancey Watson with the basket. And it's 5-0 Tornadoes here early on, 2 minutes into the ball game. Up top, Butler, now to Bird. Right side, Taylor Rowe. Rowe on the right wing, going up top, Armstrong. MJ Armstrong passes over to the left wing. Three-pointer is no good there, attempted by Damon Beckwith. Now Chancey Watson with the basketball. Right side, LB. LB thinks about it, now goes over to Horton. Back to LB. LB, a left-hand dribble, a step back, now to Horton up top. Moving Boyette down low, now gives to Chancey. Chancey looking at Boyette, now to Horton. KK. Pass up top, Jaden Carnes, now hands to Chancey. Chancey has some space, steps back, has a lane, and fires too strong off the back rim. And this game will stay at 5-0 for now as Butler brings the basketball up for Pfeiffer. Butler left side going in, working on Carnes, putting up off the glass, no good. Rebound, Chancey Watson again. Chancey now gives over to Boyette. Boyette on the right wing, passing to a cutting Carnes. What a pass! LB Boyette. And a timeout coming here. Chancey Watson with the rebound, gave it to Boyette, and Boyette found the cutting Carnes with nobody on him. And early on here, 3 minutes in, it's 7-0 Tornadoes. We'll be right back. That timeout of the 30-second variety. And now both teams heading back out onto the floor. NATO's about to break the huddle. Obviously only 3 minutes in, same 5 for Pfeiffer, who find themselves in a 7-0 hole early on here. Butler with the basketball. Rashamel Butler has been working on the significantly smaller Evans, but has not been able to capitalize at all. Rowe right wing, going inside on Watson, pulls it up, and air ball. Horton with the rebound, passing up the floor to LB. LB controls it left side, fires up a three, and LB hits it. 10-0 start for the NATOs. Butler over to Armstrong. Now right side, going inside Beckwith. Beckwith putting it up off the glass. A basket and the foul. So Pfeiffer getting their first points here, and it's a chance for a three-point play as a few subs are about to come in for them. Number 11, Clayton Robinson, sophomore guard. Number 32, Kendall Matthews, a junior center. And number 2, Daniel Fulp, the sophomore forward out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Those three coming in favor of Bird, Butler, and I'm not sure who the other one was. Armstrong, I believe. Oh, yes, Armstrong having a seat on the bench. And the free throw is hit there, by the way. Three-point play for Pfeiffer to get on the board, and it's 10-3. Now a new press defense here. Horton passing to Boyette. Boyette hauls it in, and the pressure lays off a little bit. KK up top, working to his left, now gives to Carson. Carson tries to pass to Carnes, and he's fouled. A little bit of contact there as he was trying to pass it over to Carnes, who had a little bit of space. And it'll be the first team foul for Pfeiffer. First personal foul as well. Didn't catch who that was on. Horton, long pass over the head of Boyette. Near the half-court line, Carson Evans reels it in. Carson getting a screen from Carnes. Working to his right now, gives to Horton. Horton dribbling back up top, and a hard foul there. Carnes hitting the floor hard. Gets up smiling. He's all good, though. And I believe that one might be on Beckwith. No, it was Matthews, the newly checked in, and the team's second. And now a timeout coming here. I didn't even catch what happened, but Carnes hit the floor hard. A well-warranted foul there, and about 4 minutes into the first half, the NATOs sporting a 10-3 lead and still with the basketball. After that foul, leading scorers, Chancey Watson and LB Boyette, both with 3 apiece so far. Carnes and Horton have scored as well. And for Pfeiffer, the only scorer, Damon Beckwith, who had that and one. Three-point play just a moment ago for Damon Beckwith. Beckwith, the sophomore guard, 6'3", 175 out of Jacksonville, North Carolina, Liberty Christian High School. For these Pfeiffer Falcons, coached by Pete Shuck. And an update, the Brevard women's team leading 43-36 with under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter in Greensboro. A matchup in the top 2 teams in the USA South Women's Basketball Conference. Now 43-36 Tornadoes, by the way. Both teams unbeaten in the conference, and the NATOs right now look like they've gone on a bit of a run in the third quarter and have a lead in Greensboro. Chance to move to 7-0 in conference play. Meanwhile, here in conference play, the men's Tornadoes have the basketball as LB Boyette gets it up top and hands to Carson Evans. 10-3 lead for Brevard. Carson working to his right, defended closely. Horton on the right wing now gives over to Carnes up top. Carnes looking, passing Carson Evans, whips one over to LB. LB down low, trying to go strong up and does. LB Boyette with 5 early points. Just faced up there. Or backed him down. And now some contact down low. Looks like Horton and Matthews. Matthews, if what we've seen the last few minutes is a sign, is a very physical player down low. 6'6", 220. It's KK Horton's first foul, and now checking in is number 24, Ty Black, a freshman. Taylon Rowe coming out. It'll be Beckwith to inbound. Beckwith floats one. Now back to Beckwith, guarded by Carnes. Black gets the basketball. Now Robinson, Clayton Robinson. Back over to Beckwith. Beckwith tries to go the other side of the screen, spinning around, putting it up, losing the basketball, gets it back on the baseline, and he dribbles it out of bounds right on that baseline, and it'll be going the other way once again. And the Brevard faithful giving it to Pfeiffer as that ball is knocked out of bounds by Clayton Robinson and will stay with the Tornadoes. A lot of chirping here from the Brevard student section early on As Chansey inbounds to Evans, gives it right back to Chansey. Up top, LV. LV getting some space, going in, getting fouled hard. And an offensive foul called against Boyette. Somehow or another was nearly grabbed in midair. But it'll be a charge against LB. It'll be his first, and now Quincy Carter checking in, and it'll be LB going to the bench. Might be a little shaken up after that contact. As Robinson brings the ball up the left side. Pretty quick substitutions for Pfeiffer, by the way, so far in this game. Robinson working on Evans, passing it Matthews, now back to Evans, down low, getting the basketball, going up with it off the glass, and scoring is Daniel Fulp. Fulp with a basket there, makes it 12-5, and a hard foul once again on Matthews, knocking Carnes to the floor, and he's teed up. Kendall Matthews coming into the game and presenting nothing but problems for his own team, throwing Carnes to the floor twice and now receiving a technical. A lot of talking here from the Brevard student section as Carnes is going to go to the line for the technical free throw. A lot of substitution here coming and some talk with the coaches and the officials. Carnes at the stripe now, fires it and connects on the first one. So on the floor, Fulp, Black, Dante Forrester, Jagru is in the ball game now. Number 4, Jalen Hamilton is in the ball game, and a lot of rotation so far. Clayton Robinson as well, by the way. NATO's basketball after the technical free throws, leading 14-5. Chansey Watson, right side, going. That pass is intercepted by Hamilton. Jalen Hamilton passes Robinson, now going inside. Fulp off the glass once again, and Fulp talking, letting him hear it after the basket. NATO's leading 14-7. 4 of those 7 have come from Fulp. Chansey thought about giving it to Carnes, couldn't get him. Now up top, Carson Evans, pump fake, running into some contact, and will reset. Wants Carter nearby. Evans dribbling, going inside, falling away, putting it up, no good. Rebound, Carnes dribbling back, pass up top, Quincy Carter. Nice little move. Will keep the basketball in his hands, looking over to his right, looking for a cutter, loses the basketball momentarily but gets it back. Back up top, going inside, pass to Evans. Evans, 8 on the shot clock, over to the corner, Chansey Watson, and his foot was out of bounds when he caught the pass. It'll be a turnover. NATO's leading by 7. Just about 6 minutes in. Clayton Robinson bringing the basketball up. Left side. Now giving over to Jagru. Dante Forrester, Jagru. Ty Black over to Jagru once again on the left corner, guarded by Quincy Carter. Ty Black with the basketball now to Robinson. Robinson on the left wing, guarded by Evans. Gets a step, pulls up, fires, no good, air ball. Rebound, Quincy Carter. Quincy bringing it up the floor, looking over to his right, gets it over to Carson Evans. Evans slows it down and gives it back up to KK Horton. Chansey Watson now with the basketball up top, dribbling over to his right. Now Horton has it, high post, looking around, mid-range, dribbling inside to the left, putting up a mid-range, and connecting, KK Horton. Timeout coming here from Pfeiffer. 16-7 lead for the Tornadoes with 13:15 remaining in the first half. And just an update on Brevard women's basketball. All of a sudden they have fallen behind on a run by Greensboro, now trailing 45-43. And McKenna Parkins the leading scorer there with 9. And yes, it looks like all of a sudden a 8-0 run by Greensboro has propelled them to a 45-43 lead over the women's team. Both teams with an undefeated conference record at stake late in the third quarter. As we get back to the action here with the men's, we will keep you updated on that women's score. NATO's here, leading 16-7 at home. Robinson has the basketball on the left wing, working on Watson. Up top, Fulp, now Ty Black. Black over to Robinson. First Hamilton had it, now Robinson. Jagru going down low. That ball is knocked out of the hands of Hamilton, and it'll be going the NATO's way. Chansey from the baseline to inbound, gives it to Carson Evans. Now Quincy Carter right at the midcourt line. Defers back to Evans now, back to Quincy. Quincy left alone, passing Horton in the corner. Watson firing up a 3, no hesitation, and hits it. Chansey Watson. 6 points now, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc for Chansey. Ball now in the hands of Jagru, working on Sly White, newly checked in. That ball is tipped and goes out of bounds off of the Tornadoes. Charles Reed getting ready to check in now as well, and he will. And now they reverse the call, I believe. And they do. It'll be NATO's basketball. Charles Reed, newly checked in, will inbound as Horton takes a seat. And Bird checking in for Pfeiffer as Hamilton will take a seat. Whistle blows and we're ready to go once again. Charles Reed inbounds to Evans, who gives it right back. Charles up the right side, getting doubled quickly, losing the basketball. Fulp going for it, and a foul against Fulp. Doesn't agree with the call, but it was pretty obvious. It was a push there as Fulp and Reed were both going for the basketball. And now checking back in will be Rashamel Butler and Taylon Rowe in favor of Ty Black. And looks like it'll be Forrester Jagru coming off the floor. Carson Evans with the basketball once again. Coming up, crosses midcourt, now gives back to Reed. Reed going to his left, dribbling with the right hand, now hands over to Quincy Carter. Carter passing to Chansey. Now Evans, a lot of defensive pressure, and Bird running through Watson, and a fast break now wide open, and the dunk there for Bird, Jordan Bird. There was some contact there, no whistles blown, however. And it's a 19-9 Tornado lead after that basket. Carson Evans getting the basketball right side. A very loud Tornado crowd early on here tonight. Quincy Carter firing up the three up top. Hits the back rim. Can't get it. Sly White fighting for the rebound. Tips it to Evans. Evans puts up the mid-range floater. No good. Clayton Robinson with the basketball for Pfeiffer coming up the right side. He's guarded by Evans. Now a little bit of a screen from Fulp. Bird gets it on the right wing. Now Rowe going to fire up a three. Can't hit it. Rebound Fulp going up with it, and he gets it. Off the glass once again. Still talking and still losing. 19-11. NATO's still with the lead. Somebody should remind him. But it's early. Reed to Carter to Evans. Now in the corner. Chansey again for three. Can't hit that one. 2 for 3 now from beyond the arc for Chansey as Clayton Robinson has the basketball. Up top to the right side, Rowe. Rowe getting a screen from Fulp, now passing it over to Butler. Butler will fire up his own three and will not hit. Rebound up in the air. Gotten by Robinson. Robinson swarmed by NATO's, now spinning around. Gets it over to Butler. Going inside, putting up a wild layup. Can't hit. Gets his own rebound. Puts it up again. Can't get it, and he's fouled. Good defense there by the NATO's. They end up getting a whistle blown on them, but good defense on that possession nonetheless. And it looks like a timeout, a media timeout here with 10:44 remaining in the first half. NATO's leading it by 8, 19-11. And before we go, the women's Tornadoes trailing 51-45, entering the fourth quarter in Greensboro. Going to need a fourth quarter rally there by the team to stay unbeaten in the conference against fellow unbeaten in the conference, Greensboro College. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere here. Live from the Bosch, NATO's and Falcons. Back here on the floor, NATO's heading back first. Now Pfeiffer coming. Garrett Sutherland and Paris Crawford have checked in for the first time tonight. And going to the free throw line will be Butler. Rashamel Butler went up a few offensive rebounds there. Put it up, missed. Put it up again and missed, but was fouled the second time. And he knocks down the first free throw. NATO's lead cut to 7. Could be 6 here after this free throw. And it will be. NATO's leading it 19-13, just about halfway through the first half here. Carter inbounds to Reed, now back to Quincy. Quincy coming up, Butler awaits. Quincy calling out the play, a behind-the-back dribble, now hands over to Crawford. Now Garrett. Sutherland to the left side. Quincy once again up top, Sly White. One dribble, hands off to Reed. Reed looking for a cutter, instead defers to his right to Crawford. Good defense here by Pfeiffer. Carter 8 on the 24. Passing over, White gonna fire up a 3 and hit it. Sly White with his first points of the ball game and the 3 big ones to get the lead back up to 9, 22-13. Over to the corner, Taylor Rowe guarded by White, now up top, Fulp. Right side, Robinson. They've kind of stuck with this rotation for a little bit now. Bird working on Sutherland, spinning around, tries to put up a shot and cannot hit off the side of the rim. Pairs Crawford to the rebound, coming up the floor now, right side. On the right wing, guarded by Fulp, goes up top to Carter. Carter, one dribble, hands back over to Crawford, getting a screen, now back to Quincy. Quincy, a little stutter step, going inside, putting up the layup. That one, good finish there, finger roll by Quincy Carter. And it's 24-13, a 9-point lead as number 12, Rashmel Butler, awaiting to come back in. Just sat down, but will be coming back in. And that one knocked away. Carter fighting for the steal. And it is retained by Taylor Rowe. Lost it for a second, but got it back. Now crossing the midcourt line again with 10 on the 24. Rowe picked up now by White. Going inside to the left. Hop step, putting it up, can't finish. Rebound pulled in by Fulp. He goes up, he can't finish, gets his own rebound and puts it back up. Another rebound for Fulp. And Carter inbounds to Sutherland. Long inbound. Sutherland now working on the right wing. Coming back now, gives over to Reed. Dangerous pass there, defended by Robinson. Sly White gonna fire up another one. And can't hit, in and out. Sutherland right there on the spot though. Gets the rebound, looks for a call and can't get it, and it'll be going the other way. 24-15 NATO lead here. Left corner, Bird with the ball. Gets bumped a little bit by White. No call. Wide open down low and a foul. Definite foul there by Sutherland. Kind of came in flying and all of a sudden got the brakes hit on him. And a clear foul there as he runs into number 15, Damon Beckwith. Sutherland's first, 5th for the NATOs of the half. Both teams with 5 fouls apiece. And the free throw connected upon there by Beckwith. And he'll try and go 2 for 2 from the line here. Women's Tornadoes trailing by 8 with 6:45 to go in the fourth, 58-50 in Greensboro as the second free throw goes up and is good. So he cashes out on both of them. And it's a 24-17 Tornado lead with 8:33 and counting remaining in the half. Charles Reed with the basketball over to Sutherland. Still got a pass midcourt. Reed working to his left and gets by. Now dribbling right in front of the scorer's table as the play develops. Trying to get the ball off, and a wild errant pass. Wasn't tipped by anybody. Bird applied the pressure there, and a turnover there by Charles Reed, with the NATOs holding a 7-point lead. Rowe gets the inbound and hands right back over to Butler. Rashmel Butler into the corner now. Bird. Bird looking, guarded by White, gives off to Rowe. Rowe picked up by Garrett Sutherland. Right side, working Beckwith, losing the basketball. It's ripped by Sutherland. He's on the ground with it, gives it to Rowe, fires up a 3 and hits it. And just like that, Taylor Rowe cuts the lead to 4 with 7:53 and counting as Sutherland gets the ball passing to a cutting White, and he is fouled right on the pass. Sutherland got closed in on quickly there. And a timeout coming here with 7:51 remaining in the half. NATO's leading it by 4, 24-20. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. NATO's and Falcons here live from the Bosch. NATO's coming back onto the floor here. Same 5 for them. And same 5 for Pfeiffer as well. NATO's holding a 4-point lead with just under 8 minutes remaining in half number 1. Leading scorer for the NATO's Chancey Watson. He's on the bench currently. He has 6 points, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Charles Reed with the basketball. Trying to find someone. Now finds Crawford. Crawford getting pressured. Throws it right to Butler. And another turnover for the Tornadoes here as Butler brings the ball up the floor right side. Guarded by Crawford, going over to the corner. And now down low, Bird putting up a hook, and it hits shooter's roll. And all of a sudden it's a one-possession game, 24-22. 7:21 and counting remaining as Carnes coming over to the scorer's table, as well as Horton, both of them about to check back in. Sutherland gets the basketball, now gives to Crawford. Paris, some left-handed dribbles, now calling out the play. Passing over Quincy Carter, right wing, now right back to Crawford. 10 on the 24. Crawford dribbling back, now gives over Sutherland. Carter going inside, putting up a floater. It's good. Nice basket there by Quincy Carter. And a little bit of miscommunication there, trying to move Sly White along. Not sure Sly was following what Quincy wanted there, and he was letting him know. Butler over to Fulp. Fulp just inside the three-point line, takes a couple dribbles, passes now over to Rowe. Going to fire up another three. Can't hit that one. Rebound, Charles Reed. Reed right on the BC logo, setting up the play. Hands to Quincy Carter. Quincy trying to go inside, through contact, no foul, puts it up, doesn't get the basket, but Sutherland with the rebound right there, puts it back up. Garrett Sutherland to the basket, and the Nados have gone from the 2-point lead back to a 6-point cushion. Going inside Butler, he's fouled. Pushed there by Sly White. And that'll be Sly's first foul. Six turnovers for the Nados, 5 for Pfeiffer. Pretty even turnover margin here. As Butler receives the inbound on the right wing, guarded tightly by Charles Reed, and he's going to work to his left, step back, and now passes down low. Bird left, uncovered, got slipped by Jaden Carnes there, and gets the basket as we hit the 6-minute mark in the first half as Reed floats a pass to Horton, hauls it in, back to Reed, now up top right in front of the logo. Free throw line, Carter has the ball, doubled. Up top, Reed once again. Reed a little bit indecisive, now gives to Sutherland. Back to Reed, who's left alone, decides to drive in, puts it up, no good. Rebound, Carnes. Reed hits the deck, ball's on the ground. Carnes getting it ripped. Sutherland right there, passes to Carter. Quincy going inside, passing to a cutting Horton and a shot clock violation. That was a great pass by Quincy Carter, but just a second too late there. Horton was cutting, Carter hit him in stride, but the horn sounded just before they could get that one off. By the way, number 1, MJ Armstrong. We haven't seen him since early on. He's back in the ball game, as well as number 4, Jalen Hamilton. Robinson to the basketball. Clayton Robinson now looking to pass over to Taylon Rowe. Rowe to Butler, working long two-pointer there, no good. Off the side of the rim, Quincy Carter with the rebound, gives over to Horton. Horton passing to Sutherland, going inside, nice little dribble, stepping back, free throw line, jumper is cash. Garrett Sutherland with 4, 2 of 3 from the field. Couple of rebounds for him as well. Nados leading at 30-24 with 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Butler working on Carnes, trying to run by him, spinning around, putting it up, and it's good off the roll. Reed inbounds to Horton rather. Horton directing, and now floats a pass over to Reed. He gets contacted, no call. Pass, wide open, Carnes off the glass, and one. Quincy Carter threaded the needle there on the pass to Carnes, who was left alone, and the defender was closing in, but Carnes able to get it off just in time and draw the foul with the contact. Nados holding a 6-point lead, chance to make it 7. And Daniel Fulp checking back in, and Armstrong taking a seat. Armstrong not playing much in this ball game as Carnes with a chance for a 3-point play. Fires it up, and no good off the back of the rim. Fulp with the rebound, and he gives off to Clayton Robinson. Robinson to his right, Hamilton. Now Rowe. Butler left alone for 3, fires it up. Carter tried to contest, but it is in there. 3-pointer connected there by Rashamal Butler, and it's a 3-point lead for the Nados. Reed charging and throws a pass. It is going to be out of bounds. Stay with the Nados off of a Falcon, either Robinson or Butler, not sure which. Chancey Watson will be the inbounder, and referees having some sort of discussion here before giving the ball to Watson. Watson inbound to Charles. Charles got to pass midcourt and does. Running by Robinson, passing off of Hamilton's foot. It looks like it'll stay with the NATOs once again with 4:08 remaining in the half. Reed, pass, Carter, fakes, goes in, gets the ball ripped out from behind him, and it'll stay with the NATOs once again. And I'm not sure exactly what Coach Pete Shuck wants. They keep giving the ball to the NATOs, but that was pretty clearly ripped out of his hands. Reed, high inbound pass to Carnes. Watson, up top, dribble, guarded closely by Robinson, loses him for a second, now gives over to Horton, drawing oohs and ahs from the NATO crowd. Reed up top, gives Carter, 3 on the shot clock. He's got to fire up a shot. Reed fires up a 3 off the glass, no good. Rebounded there by Hamilton, and the NATO's got to be a little bit more aware of the shot clock here and get into their possessions and their sets earlier on in the possession. Going in, Butler putting up a floater, and he's fouled by Carnes. Little 12-on-12 action there. And that'll be Carnes' first foul, and I believe, 7th team foul for the Tornadoes. And a timeout coming here. NATO's leading it by 3, 32-29. Just under 4 minutes to go here in the half. And we'll be right back here from the Bosch. NATOs and Falcons. Back here on the floor as Rashmel Butler about to shoot 2 free throws and try and make it a 1-point game. He cannot hit the first. NATO's still hold the 3-point lead after that first free throw. And Butler fires up another and does hit that one. So the NATO's now leading it by 2, 32-30 with 3:35 remaining in the first half. Reed over to Watson. Watson left side, spinning around now, gives back to Charles. Charles trying to set up the play, and they got to set these things up faster on these possessions as Fulp, I believe, will be hit with the foul there. It will be Fulp. That's his second foul. And it'll be a 1-and-1 for Charles Reed. Charles hasn't scored yet. He's taken 2 shots, has not hit either of them. One of them was a desperation 3 at the end of the shot clock, and Charles can't hit the free throw, so he will stay at 0 for now on the 1-and-1 opportunity. Butler with the basketball on the right wing, stepping back, firing up a 3, had a lot of space, can't hit it, and that one is knocked out of Chancey Watson's hand on the rebound and will go the Tornadoes' way as Carson Evans is going to check back in. Chancey inbounds to Carson. And now Carson will pass it back over to Watson on the right side. Back to Carson. Carson looking, trying to find Carnes and floats it over his head. And a few too many errant passes by the NATOs have allowed Pfeiffer to get back into this game and make it close once again. Was very early on. Couple of double-digit leads. The game opened up 10-0, but all of a sudden it's a 32-30 ball game as Butler has the basketball. Taylor Rowe has it on the right wing. Going to go inside on Watson. It's off a foot and goes out of bounds. Carnes tried to get it, couldn't get it. It went through his hands, and Butler couldn't stop it. It's going the other way, out of bounds. Rolled all the way to the sideline, and now a timeout coming here by Coach Lee Burgess. 2:48 remaining in the first half. NATO's leading by 2, 32-30. Leading scorers, Jaden Carnes and Chancey Watson for the Tornadoes, both with 6 apiece. Both have hit 2 field goals, 2 for 3 from beyond the arc for Chancey, 2 for 2 from the field, and 2 of 3 from the free throw line for Carnes. Daniel Fulp with 8 points and 5 rebounds. He's the leading scorer has been doing a lot of work in the post for Pfeiffer. Damon Beckwith with 7 points. And the NATOs, the women's team, it is not looking good in Greensboro right now. Just a quick update, 65-57, Greensboro leading with 1:08 to go in that one. NATOs led late in the third quarter, but it appears that a run from Greensboro occurred and may have put them on top for good here. Both teams with undefeated conference records on the line. Both teams here trying to get their first conference win as Carter whips a pass over to Carnes, and he has points 7 and 8. Carnes the leading scorer for the Tornadoes with 2:30 and counting to go here in the opening half. Fulp gives over to Butler. 2:22 and counting to go. Going in on Evans is Butler and just muscles through him to the basket. Strong attack on the rim there. And it's a 2-point game once again, 34-32 NATO lead. Quincy Carter with the basketball up top to Evans, who calls out the play. Watson directing Horton down to the post, and now he retreats back to the corner once again. Up top, Jaden Carnes takes one dribble, gives to Watson. Watson stepping back, fires up a three, can't hit. Off the mark there, and the rebound goes to Butler. Butler getting a little bit of a screen, working on Carnes, going inside, picking up his dribble, passes over, and the shot is in the air. It's a three-pointer and a foul. I believe that's going to be an and one. That was number 15, Damon Beckwith. And the three is going to stand, and it'll be a foul on Carson Evans on the closeout. All of a sudden, NATO's trailing by one as Charles Reed heads over to the scorer's table. That'll be the 8th team foul. And Evans will immediately take a seat. Coach Burgess not happy with him. And Charles Reed in for the final 139, you would assume. It'll be Bird. Bird was the one fouled. And he will shoot the free throw and connect. So the three-pointer was good, and Bird will get 2 free throws on top of that. Something happened down low. Bird fires up the second free throw and hits it. Now a 3-point lead as we see LB Boyette coming back in from the locker room, standing by the trainers. We have not seen him since that hard foul early on. Reed going backwards, got to get the ball up the floor, and does to Horton. And Horton running by Bird, whips a pass over to Carnes, and he can't handle it. .124 remaining in the opening half. NATO's trailing by 3 all of a sudden after leading the entire half. A 7-0 run for the Falcons here has propelled them to a 3-point lead right as we approach halftime. Carter guarding Bird, who has the basketball, passes over to Taylon Rowe. Horton on him, now up top Butler. Butler getting a screen, now guarded by Quincy Carter, arguably the best defender on the floor, and he gets a steal. Chancey Watson to the basketball now, right side, spinning around, passing over to Carnes. Carnes takes one dribble, now passes up top to Quincy Carter. Carter to his left, Reed. And Quincy getting the ball ripped out of his hand, and it's taken away there by Beckwith. And now gives over to Butler. About a 8. Ooh, that foul there. Full tripping over the feet of Carnes, interrupted by thought. About a 19-18 second difference between the shot and the 24. It'll be against Carnes, and that's his second foul. Team 9th. And I believe this is a 1-and-1 for Fulp. Fulp fires and hits the first. We'll stay right here. Now a 2-possession game, 38-34, with 40.4 remaining in the half. Fulp with 9 points, trying to get to 10, would match Damon Beckwith, and does for the leading scorer. Beckwith and Fulp combined 10 points, or combined 20 points, 10 points each. And that's 20 of the 39 that Pfeiffer has put up from those two players. Reed trying to get the ball away. Horton and a 10-second violation. Charles Reed struggling to get the ball up the floor. And The NATO's trailing by 5 all of a sudden and giving the basketball once again to Pfeiffer. Just not a good last few minutes for the Tornadoes, and a lot of that may have to do with not having their best player on the floor in this one for a majority of the first half. LB Boyette, who is still over there on the sideline, not on the bench, still by the trainer. Butler trying to work on Reed, spinning around, puts it up off the glass. It's good. And all of a sudden, the NATO's trailing by 7. 7 seconds remaining in the half. Reed trying to charge down the floor, putting up a layup wildly off the glass, nowhere close. Fulp has it, fires up a half-court shot. That one's going to fall short. And the NATO's ending the first half in poor fashion, trailing by 7 after leading for a majority of the first half. 41-34 Pfeiffer lead at the hands mainly of Damon Beckwith and Daniel Fulp. Beckwith with 12 for Pfeiffer, Fulp with 10 for the Falcons. Those two, 22 of the 41 points coming from them. And by the way, the Brevard women's team falling just short, it appears, 69-61, trailing with 27 seconds remaining in that ball game. And by the way, Pfeiffer ended that first half on an 11-0 run. NATO's were leading by 4, and all of a sudden that 11-0 run happened. They find themselves down 7. Jaden Carnes, the leading scorer, with 8 points for the Tornadoes. He has 2 fouls as well, so got to be a little careful there in the second half, but not too much so. NATO's trailing by 7. We'll see what kind of adjustments head coach Lee Burgess comes up with at the half. And we'll be back in about 15 minutes here as some messages from the college will play. And then the basketball team will play on, trying to come back here in the second half against Pfeiffer and get their second win all-time in the season, or the all-time series against the Falcons. Back in a few here from the Bosch. This is Brady Penn. Tornado basketball coming up in just a few.
It's important to study English because language
History is
And back here from the Bosch, both teams warming up for the second half here. 2:05 remaining until second half gets going. NATO's trailing 41-34, mainly behind the hands of Daniel Fulp and Rashamel Butler. The two have combined to go 8 for 13 from the field for 20 combined points. Damon Beckwith with 10 as well, so 30 points between the three of them. 30 of the 41 Pfeiffer points, and 8 of those remaining points, 8 of those 11 have come from Jordan Bird. So really 4 guys doing the damage. Those 3 with 10 apiece, and then Bird with 8. For the NATOs, it's been more of an even output, and they had the lead for most of the first half up until that 11-0 run. At the end of the half, Jaden Carnes with 8 points, Chancey Watson with 6, LB Boyette with 5, but he went out early, and unclear whether or not we will see him in the second half. He is out there warming up. Quincy Carter with 4 on 2 of 4 from the field, and KK Horton with 4, as well as Garrett Sutherland. Sly White chipped in a 3 as well, but despite all of that, the NATOs do find themselves in a 7-point hole currently, but Coach Lee Burgess and his team have been here before, and they know how to make the adjustments, and both teams seeking their first conference win. We will see in these final 20 minutes who prevails in doing so. NATO's huddling up now, heading back over towards the bench. Same with Pfeiffer. Just about ready to get going here in a moment. See if both teams trot out the same 5s that they open the game with or not. We'll see if number 5 is in there for the Tornadoes. LB went out early in that first half and did not return. Looks like LB will return to the floor, and we'll start the second half hobbling around a little bit. Evans, Horton, Watson, Carnes, Boyette, the same 5 that opened up the ball game. Bird, Armstrong, Rowe, Butler, and Beckwith, the 5 that started the game for Pfeiffer. They're out there. Butler with the basketball working on LB. Pfeiffer will open it up. Beckwith to the corner, Rowe. Now right back to Beckwith, working on Horton. Pass back to Rowe. Going to fire up a 3 from the left side and hit it. A 3 ball on the opening possession for Pfeiffer makes it their first double-digit lead of the ball game after just recently, late in the first half, getting their first lead period of the ball game. Evans over to Carnes, right side, Chancey Watson pump fakes the 3, goes back to Carnes, left side LB. LB trying to move people around. Carnes hands to LB. He'll step back and fire up a 3 of his own. Can't hit, short rebound. Carnes puts it back up. Carnes into double figures, first Tornado to do so. He's got 10. And a good answer there on the opening possession as Butler has it on the left wing, guarded by Horton. Up top, Rowe going to fire up a 3 and won't hit that one. Rebound pulled in KK Horton. Horton looking up the floor on the left side. Had Carnes possibly. Instead, whips it behind his head to Carnes. It'll stay with the NATOs. Was deflected out by Pfeiffer. That was a nice pass. I thought he might hit him earlier. Then he drove in and then all of a sudden whipped it right behind his head. Carson Evans from the baseline. Up top, LB. Horton, now Evans, up top, firing up a 3, and no good. Rebound batted away by Boyette, but right to Taylon Rowe. Rowe working on Horton. Now up top, Butler. Butler trying to move Armstrong around, MJ Armstrong, and that pass trying to go down low to Bird, intercepted by Evans. Evans floats one up to Carnes, just able to haul it in the corner, whips it and hits the bottom of the goal. Somehow it still makes its way to Boyette, though. Boyette trying to back down. Ball gets knocked out of his hands and right into the hands of Bird. Bird coming to the floor, does not have numbers, or Bird rather, over to Beckwith. Sorry about that. Stepping back now with the basketball is Butler and slowing things down perhaps. Up top. Now to the left side, Rowe. Rowe has already taken 2 threes in this half. 2 minutes in. Going inside, taking it himself. Butler, and 1. Boyette thought he went straight up, but the whistle was blown, and it's a chance for a 3-point play for Rashamel Butler, who now has 12 and a chance to make it 13. Leading scorer for the Falcons. It's team first. And firing up and hitting now is Butler. LB's third foul, by the way, something to keep an eye on. Watson to Evans. Still trying to get it past midcourt. Got a 10-second violation earlier. That pass knocked up in the air, almost intercepted by Bird, but LB hauls it in. Horton now going inside, has a wide open lane, and he overshoots it off the glass. They get their own rebound. Carnes out of the corner. Watson can't get the rebound. That one brought in by Rowe. And a missed opportunity there a couple of times for the Tornadoes on the offensive end. Butler trying to spin away from Evans, get some space, puts it up off the glass. No good, and a late whistle blown. Butler will go to the line once again. Rashamel Butler at the line for 2. Sitting at 13 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from the stripe. 2 more opportunities here, and he cans the first. Now firing the second and can't connect. Butler rebound knocked up in the air and brought down by Horton. NATO's trailing by 12 now, about 3 minutes in. Up top, Boyette, a dribble, now pass to Evans, right wing 3, can't hit, short, rebound Bird. Not a lot going here so far in the second half for the Tornado offense, and Butler with the basketball once more might try and just go through him these next few minutes. Butler going inside, looking, passing out, now firing up. Beck with the 3, and he hits it. And the NATOs all of a sudden find themselves in a 15-point hole as LB Boyette gets the basketball on the left wing. Going up top, Carson Evans. Evans calling out the play, gives to Boyette. Boyette getting a screen from Carnes, tries to pass it. Wide open, Evans again for 3, can't hit once again. Carson Evans 0 for 6 from the field. A rough night for him so far, and Quincy Carter going to the scorer's table. That might be who he's getting. Butler fires a long 2 and hits it. And a 17-point deficit for the NATOs all of a sudden. They were down 7 at the half. They were leading at the end of the first half. All of a sudden gave up an 11-0 run, and it has gotten ugly quickly. NATO's got to reel it in pretty soon here. Coach Lee Burgess calling that timeout for that reason, I'm sure. 16-17 remaining here in the half, and the NATOs all of a sudden find themselves down 53-36. And you got to find a way to weather the storm if you're Coach Lee Burgess and Coach Miles Leathers. Missing Ryan Smith tonight, the center. It's been Carnes and White getting all the minutes there down low. 2 teams talk it over, and Rashamel Butler, leading scorer in this game and for Pfeiffer, all of a sudden has 16 points. And Coach Burgess still talking some things over in this timeout. We still haven't seen David Seeley, the senior point guard, on the floor. And the NATOs just about ready to break the huddle. Quincy Carter will be in. We'll see what kind of moves Pfeiffer makes. The referee coming over, telling them to hurry it up. And so, yes, it will be Carson Evans who sat down. He is 0 for 6 from the field with 2 fouls. Not number 10's best night. Still playing some pretty good defense, though, if nothing else. Chancey Watson now inbounds to KK Horton. Horton, pass over to Watson. Now to Carter, who hauls it in. Up top, KK calling out a play. Getting a screen from Carnes. Now over to Quincy. Up top, Carnes. One dribble. Boyette thinks about it. Now going inside. Pass to the corner. Watson. Nice little move. Going inside. Hop step. Spinning around. Looking. Goes up top to Boyette. 6 on the 24. LB. Couple of dribbles. Crossing over. Loses the basketball. Has to fire up a long 2 and hits it. LB. How about that one? NATO's needing a basket in a bad way there, and a desperation heave as the shot clock is nearly expiring is what does it for him. Now got to play some defense. Still a ways to go, down 15. Jaden Carnes guarding on the right wing, firing up Rowe. Can't hit the 3, short. Rebound Horton. Horton steps on the brakes and then accelerates once more. Getting past midcourt, now guarded by Butler. Signaling the play, going inside, runs by him, puts up the layup. KK Horton, and all of a sudden a 4-0 Tornado run, down 13. So the timeout may have proven to be fruitful as Butler has the basketball, guarded by Carter. A lot of traffic, back over, wide open. Beckwith firing a three and connects. Damon Beckwith there with the basket. LB getting hit as he receives the pass. It's on the floor, going for it and falling out of bounds is, who is that? Number 22, Taylon Rowe, fighting for possession. He fell on the sideline. Boyette got hit as that pass came in, struggled to retain the basketball. It was between his legs. It was on the floor, and it rolled out, but luckily took a tornado roll, and once again a timeout here. We'll be right back. NATO's trailing it by 16, 56-40 here at the Bosch.
Graduate of the Wilderness Leadership and Experiential Education program is equipped with the core skills to be successful in any field. So what can students do after they graduate? Anything they want.
I think that Brevard College's Wilderness Leadership and Experiential Education program is better than other programs because of
Back on the floor here, Tornado basketball, KK Horton working on Fulp and gives over to Chancey Watson in the corner now, Quincy Carter. Carter to Chancey, Chancey going inside, pass to Carnes, has another basket. Jaden Carnes with 12. NATO's down 14 with 14 and a half remaining. Clayton Robinson with the basketball for Pfeiffer. Guarded by Carnes now, spinning, stepping back, trying to pass it over the head of Boyette to Fulp. Fulp gets the basket off the glass, flexing and talking now with a 16-point lead. Fulp with 12. Quincy Carter gets it around the free throw line and gives it back to Horton. Boyette, Carnes, Boyette in the corner, thinks about it, now passes over to KK. Right wing, Chancey, going inside, hop step, he's fouled. That'll be, I believe, Ty Black. Yes, it will be. Black with his first foul, his first stat recorded tonight, actually. Was in briefly earlier, but that is his first statistic put in the book. As Chancey Watson will go to the line for two, down 16. Chancey fires up and hits the first. NATO's could use a big run here in these next few minutes. Try and get back into this thing, which they had the lead for so long in the first half, and the wheels just kind of fell off, and it's been a little bit of a shaky start of the second half as well as Chancey fires up the second free throw and connects. Lead back down to 14. Got to find a way to get it to single digits here, and that's when you can really start working. Robinson of the basketball. Left side now. Robinson has it on the wing, wide open for three. Can't hit. Rebound, Chancey Watson. Over to the left side, guarded by Jagru. Quincy Carter up top, guarded by Hamilton, gives to Chancey. Chancey going to fire a long two and air ball. Rebounded by Clayton Robinson. An ill-advised shot there from Chancey as Jagru goes inside, tries a acrobatic layup and gets fouled. A little bit questionable there. It was sort of a desperation layup. And that's Quincy's first, the team's third. And Jagru fires up the first free throw and hits that one. NATO's lead or deficit back down to 15. And Ty Black heading back over to the bench, and in for him is number 25, Justin Gayton. First time we've seen him. And the second free throw by Jagru is good as well. Lead back up to 16. And no new subs for the Tornadoes, as Horton has the basketball and brings it up. To his right, Boyette. Boyette instantly swarmed. Quincy Carter has the basketball in the right corner. Now back over to LB. 13-11 and counting to go in this ball game. Chansey with the basketball now, getting a bit of a screen from Carnes. Carnes now has it up top, going to fire a three. Can't hit. Short. Rebound tossed up in the air. Horton fighting for it, and Clayton Robinson comes down to the basketball. They have numbers. Robinson looking around. Wide open. Gayton fires up his first shot. Hits his first shot for three, and this thing is getting out of hand. 19-point deficit for the Tornadoes. Been outscored by 12 in this second half so far. Watson losing the basketball. It goes out of bounds. It'll be going Pfeiffer's way. And also in now for the first time is Sam Daigle, number 5 for Pfeiffer. And Robinson brings it up the floor on the left side. Pass up top to Fulp. Now Gayton, another three. Can't hit that one. Rebound LB Boyette. Boyette, pass to the left side, Watson. Watson, a little move, going inside, tries to put it up off the glass and does so. Basket there for Chansey Watson. He's got 10. Second NATO to reach double figures. Daigle, left side. A lot of traffic down low trying to wait for them to disperse. Gayton gets it with Horton on him. Gets a screen from Fulp. That's a bit of a size mismatch. Horton on Fulp right now. See if they target it. No, Daigle will fire up a three and will hit the three. 20-point deficit now for the NATOs. They turn it over, and it's a 22-point deficit for the NATOs. KK Horton has the ball on the inbound. Coming up past midcourt. And gives it over to LB. LB going inside, has a crease, passes it back out to the corner. Horton doesn't take it, and it'll be a travel and another Tornado turnover as Charles Reed is going to check in, and it'll be a timeout. 11:30 remaining in this one, and it's gotten out of hand quickly, folks. NATO's trailing by 22, and Coach Lee Berger is going to try and get a spark here as we head towards the final stretch, final 10 minutes and change. In a game that looked so promising for the NATOs. They got off to a 10-0 run to start the ball game, and really, since midway through the first half, it's been all Falcons, and you got to hope you can try and turn that around pretty quickly if you're the Tornadoes. Both teams in their huddles, but I'm sure very, very different conversations going on in the huddles right now. As you see the Tornado cheerleaders performing a stunt here in between timeouts. Shout out to them and all that they do here at these events and others, such as the football games. Horn sounds, and the two teams will head back out onto the floor. Sly White now onto the floor as well as Charles Reed. For Pfeiffer, it will be the same 5. And Boyette, some frustration you see in his body language on the floor, I'm sure, both with the injury earlier, the foul trouble he's in, and with the results of the game, of course. Some frustration is rising for him. As Justin Gayton gets the ball on the left wing, gives over to Fulp, who goes inside, puts it up, can't get it. Rebound knocked around in the air. Sly White hits it off of Butler, and it'll be going the NATO's way. Sly was in the air and hit that one off of number 12 of Pfeiffer. That is a crafty play there by him. Charles gets the inbound now, goes over to LB. Charles has it once again, slicing through to get past midcourt. Charles over to the right side. Horton Sly gives to LB. LB fires a high arcing three off the glass. No good. Off the glass after the bounce, might I add. Daigle with the basketball on the right side. Gives over to Hamilton. Hamilton left wing. A lot of traffic in that left side. Gayton gets it. Looking around, spinning, working on Carter. Whips a pass over to Fulp, who goes inside off the glass. No good. Rebound, and it'll be a foul. Maybe an over the back here. And it'll be against Jaden Hamilton as Jordan Bird comes back in the game. It thought it was for him instead, and it is for him. There was some confusion on whether it was him or Fulp coming out. And it will be Hamilton as Reed gives over to Boyette. NATO's trailing by 22. Charles with the basketball. Screen set by Sly. Tries to get it over to Sly. It's batted down. Now Sly has it up top. Gives to Horton. Horton a couple dribbles between the legs. Going inside. Spinning around. Fires a mid-range and connects. KK Horton with 8 points now. That's the third most on the team tonight. As Butler with the basketball up top. NATO's trailing it by 20 with less than 10 minutes to go. Bird to Gayton. Gayton looking up top. Daigle has it, guarded by Sly White. Passing. Horton tried to get it. Gayton has it. It's on the floor now. Going for it is LB. Ball still on the ground. Gayton has it. Passing. Bird cutting. Puts up a layup off the glass. Crafty athletic move. Long wingspan there by Bird. Benefits him. Bird 6'8". And needed every bit of it there to get that layup across. Horton trailing by 22. Losing the basketball. It's at his feet. And that one's brought in by Butler. NATO's on the floor. Falcons on the floor. And that has been the NATO's problem here is sloppy ball handling since midway through the first half, really. As Gayton has it up top, looking for Fulp maybe. The two are close together. Passes over to Fulp. Fulp goes inside, waits for White to jump. Gets Sly to foul him. And two more free throws coming here for the Tornadoes. Or for the Falcons, rather, not the Tornadoes. Sorry. Foul against the Tornadoes. Fulp, a roll of the basketball, and the first free throw is good for him. He's got 13. Garrett Sutherland and Paris Crawford will come in. It'll be Boyette and Carter, the two horses of the team, coming off the court. And Fulp going for his 14th point here on the free throw. He'll fire it up and will hit it. Now coming in, Damon Beckwith and MJ Armstrong. Fulp and Daigle will both have a seat. And Charles Reed bringing up the floor, gives over to Sutherland. Sutherland doubled, goes back over to Reed. Reed working to this left, hands over to Garrett. Garrett trying to find someone, goes for White. It's batted up in the air, ball still on the ground. Sly recovers it, now has it, now will fire up a three. Sly White, too strong. Rebound hauled in by Butler. Under 8.5 to go here. NATO's trailing by 24. Butler on the right wing, guarded by Paris Crawford now. Working back, and maybe it'll be an offensive foul off the ball against Jordan Bird. Did not see what was going on, but Bird is charged with that one. His second foul. And KK Horton doubled right near midcourt, gives it over to Crawford. Crawford dribbling with the left over to Sutherland up top. Garrett to his right, Crawford, now Horton. Horton backing down on Armstrong. Horton fires up a mid-range and hits the side of the backboard. Horton still pretty efficient night, though. 4 for 7 after that one, as that will be a foul against Sutherland. It looked like it could have been an offensive foul, but instead it is going to go against Garrett, and it will be a media timeout, I believe, here with 7:46 remaining in the ball game. NATO's trailing it by 24 with just under 8 remaining. We'll be right back here from the Bosch. Back on the floor now, 7:46 remaining, inbound to Jordan Bird, guarded by Sutherland. Trying to back him down, now goes up to Butler on the right wing. Up top, Armstrong working on Crawford. Both number ones going against each other, and Pfeiffer's will win that matchup. 26-point deficit now. Reed over to Horton. Horton swarmed. Reed now passes to Sutherland, has 2-on-1, goes up with the left, and is blocked by Bird. And the NATOs were trailing by 7 at the half. All of a sudden find themselves down 26, have been outscored by 19 in less than 13 minutes of basketball here. Horton to Crawford, 7:10 remaining. Crawford passes up top, Horton. Horton long two, and he's fouled. That'll be Damon Beckwith. Beckwith's first foul, and the fourth for the Falcons. And Horton's first trip to the line. Horton with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists, 4 of 6 from the field, and he knocks in the first free throw. KK trying to get into double figures and will do so. 10 points for him. And he will come off the floor after that one. David Seeley checking in for the first time now. The senior, a little bit surprising to not see him in the game at this point. David's only played 8 of the 13 games. Has not started one this season after starting most of last year, as Rowe gets it up top, fires a three from the right corner. Cannot connect. And Charles Reed passing back. Sutherland fires up along two. Air ball there. Rebound by White. It's hit out of his hands. And Taylor Rowe has it once again. Rowe to Butler. Butler trying to give it to Bird, who's trying to get in position. He'll fire a long two over Sutherland. Will not hit. Paris Crawford to the rebound. And does not have numbers. Will slow it down on the left wing. No, we'll go inside on Butler. We'll put it up and we'll score. Paris Crawford with the basket there. NATO's trailing by 22 with 6:14 and counting to go. Bird to Rowe. Rowe up top. MJ Armstrong, who will work inside on Sutherland, will lose the basketball, and it'll be going the NATO's way. Garrett did not hit that one out. Reed inbounds to Seeley. And Reed, hit hard, a lot of contact, no whistle. NATO still have the basketball. Right wing, Crawford firing up a three. Can't hit that one. Rebound up in the air. Crawford fighting for it. Ball on the ground. Sly White fighting for it. And it'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow will stay with the NATOs. Clayton Robinson and Kendall Matthews into the game now. Kendall Matthews, remember, was in the ball game very early on. Got 2 physical fouls, and then one of them resulted in him getting a technical as well. But he's back in now with 5:46 remaining in the ball game. Reed, long inbound to Garrett. Now David Seeley has it up top. Left side, Paris Crawford. David going to fire up a three, and that will be airballed Rebound there by Damon Beckwith. Clayton Robinson looking around now to his right. Rowe with it, going down low. Matthews, a physical player, will pass it back up to Rowe up top for three, and he will connect on that one. NATO's trailing by 25 now. Garrett has the basketball, goes over to Crawford. Crawford going inside, draws a lot of contact, and a foul there by Matthews. Matthews has been on both ends of some very, very physical plays. And Daigle coming back in, as well as Ty Black, Sam Daigle. And also number 14, Marcos Martinez, the freshman guard out of Orlando, Florida, DME Sports Academy, will check in for the first time in this one with about 5 minutes remaining. 5:06, David Seeley to the right side, Crawford. Seeley, left side, Sutherland. White, right back to Garrett. Wide open, Crawford will not take the shot. And now over to the left wing, Garrett. 8 on the 24, David passing, Reed. Reed trying to spin around and put it up off the glass, can't get it. Rebound tipped over to Daigle. And you got to assume we have seen the last of the starters in this one, down 25 with less than 5 minutes to go. Black up top to Clayton Robinson. Right side, Martinez working on Sutherland, spinning around, putting it up off the glass, and gets the basket right after checking in. Seeley, now Reed. Sutherland coming around, now gives it to Crawford. David Seeley on the left wing. Up top, Crawford. Crawford thinks about it. Stutter steps, now goes up top to Sly White. Sly White, one dribble, pass to Seeley. Seeley stepping back, passing high up to Sutherland. He climbs the ladder to get it. 7 on the 24. Crawford, 5 on the 24. Sly White going to fire up a three from the left wing. Can't hit. Off the back iron. Rebound pulled in by Sutherland. It's on the ground and a foul. It'll be a foul against Daigle. His first and the team's sixth. A timeout coming here, less than 4 minutes to go until this one's in the books, and it is not looking good for the NATOs right now. Down 27 as we head down the final stretch. Timeout. We'll be right back here from the Bosch. Back here, the NATOs have the basketball. Charles Reed inbounding from the baseline, looking for someone. Has White. Sly, pass over to David, has to jump up to grab that one. Moving people around and trying to go around a pick. Into the corner, Charles Reed. Reed up top to Sly White. Left wing, now into the corner, David Seeley. Seeley, wild pass over to Reed. 3 on the 24. Crawford, pass. Reed got to put up a floater, can't hit it. Rebound knocked right to Paris Crawford, though, and the NATOs have the basketball once again. Right wing, Sutherland going inside, puts up a mid-range, and he's fouled and one. Garrett Sutherland with points 5 and 6 and a chance to chip in number 7 here. Garrett averages 4.3 points a game on the season. Only 13 minutes a game. Has not started a ball game. And so above his season average already with 6 points. Chance to make it 7 and does. And now checking in, freshman number 21, Andrew Smith. Smith has played in 4 games. This will be his 5th getting into the action. Marcos Martinez. Dribbling, working on Sealy. Now goes over to the right wing. Firing up a three. Ty Black, and he hits it over Paris Crawford. Smith inbounds to Sealy. NATO's trailing by 27. David over to the left side, Sutherland. Up top, also newly checked in for the NATO's is number 14, Darius Stewart. As Smith to Sealy. Sealy, long two, can't hit. And going for the rebound there is Stewart, can't get it. And Zane Caudle and Ralph Johnson checking in, two freshmen. RJ Johnson, the preferred name. He's appeared in 3 games. Caudle has appeared in 4. And Caudle with the basketball goes over to Johnson. Left side, Caudle. Up top, Stewart. Some of the freshmen getting some experience here. Andrew Smith is one of them. He gets the ball and fires up a 3. Can't hit short. Rebound is knocked. Sealy. Now Ty Black has it. 2:14 and counting until this one's in the books. It's looking like the NATO's will fall short here. Number 0, Isaiah Escobar in for Pfeiffer. And putting up a shot and missing is newly checked in Armani Almanar for Pfeiffer. He's fouled. And he'll get 2 free throws here. It'll be Zane Caudle's first foul, the 6th for the Tornadoes. Firing up the shot, Almanar, and not hitting the free throw there. .204 remaining in this one. NATO's trailing by 27. And Almanar off the back iron, can't hit the free throw. Darius Stewart with the rebound, and David Sealy has it now. Long pass going up for Johnson. Johnson saves it, going up for Sealy. And a great effort there by R.J. Johnson to save that one. 6'5", needed all of it there. Sealy up top, Stewart. Stewart takes a dribble, passes over to Caudle. Caudle going inside, falling, puts it up, and he's fouled. Caudle's only put up 2 shots this season in 4 games of action, although less than 5 minutes in those ball games, and a chance to record his first career points here, and does so. Zane Caudle, welcome to the action. First career point as a Tornado, looking for his second here. And we'll get it. 2 for 2 from the line for Zane Caudle. In his first 2 college free throw attempts as well. Daigle over to the corner, firing up and hitting the 3 is Isaiah Escobar from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The sophomore guard connecting on a 3 there. NATO's trailing by 28 with 1:23 to go, and they turn the ball over. 16 turnovers for the NATO's, 10 for Pfeiffer. A lot of issues for the NATO's tonight. Turnovers have definitely been one of them, though. As Martinez has the ball up top, 1:14 remaining. Almanar working on Stewart. He puts it up, and he's fouled. And this will be Almanar with a chance for 2 more after missing his first 2 attempts and can't hit that one. Almanar struggling with the free throws. He's 0 for 3. It does not matter. NATO's are down 28 with 1:09 to go. And we'll see if Almanar can hit this one. And he does. Almanar on his 4th free throw knocks one down finally and puts his team up by 29. Sealy over to Johnson, up top Stewart. Stewart hands to Smith, and he's fouled. Stewart fires up a free throw and cannot hit. Rebounded there by Seeley. Seeley stumbling around a bit, no whistle. Gives it right back to Stewart. 49 seconds to go. Seeley up top, stepping back. Now that one's stolen. Daigle on the run, and he will get the fast break basket. And he's got 5 on 2 of 2 efficiency. Seeley with the ball. 33 seconds to go, about 8 seconds between the shot and game clock. Seeley passes to the right wing. R.J. Johnson up top now, Darius Stewart. Andrew Smith with it, stepping back, firing up a 3, and cannot hit. Rebound by Cardle. Cardle, how about that? 2 more points, and the first 4 points of the college career for Zane Cardle. You think he wants some more minutes? Marcos Martinez gives that one up to Isaiah Escobar, and the clock will run out, and that'll be it for this one. The NATO's falling. Tough one here. We're down 7 at the half after leading for most of the first half and find themselves on the losing end of an 88-59 final. Not a whole lot of great things to speak of, but some improvement for certain players and some good things we did see. Don't get me wrong, there were some really good things. Jaden Carnes, once again, the freshman, 12 points, leading scorer for the Tornadoes. KK Horton had a pretty good game, 10 points on 4 of 6 with 4 boards and 2 assists. Chancey Watson chipped in 10 points. LB Boyette had a little bit of injury and foul trouble in this one. He had 7 points, so did Garrett Sutherland. Quincy Carter had 4. Zane Cardle, the first 4 points of his college career. Sly White chipped in a 3 on 4 field goal attempts. Paris Crawford had 2 points, and a few NATOs checked in without scoring. David Seeley, Charles Reed, and Carson Evans all without scoring. A combined 0 for 13 between those 3. A rough night shooting on the floor, and then a few of the freshmen that checked in did not score. Darius Stewart and R.J. Johnson did not attempt a shot, and Andrew Smith also checked in without scoring. For Pfeiffer, Rashmel Butler and Damon Beckwith with 16 apiece, leading the way for them. Daniel Fulp right behind with 14, and then Jordan Bird had 10. Taylon Rowe with 9. A lot of other guys getting in the scoring. Sam Daigle with 5. Isaiah Escobar, Ty Black, and Justin Gayton all with 3. MJ Armstrong, Dante Forrester, Jagru, Clayton Robinson, and Marcos Martinez all knocked in a basket with 2 apiece. Armani Alomar had a point on that free throw late, and Jalen Hamilton and Kendall Matthews, the 2 Pfeiffer Falcons that checked in without scoring. Field goal percentage, NATO's 23 of 58, 39.7% clip. Pfeiffer 30 of 52, 57.7% clip. On 3-point field goals, NATO's 4 for 24, only a 16.7% clip. For Pfeiffer, 11 of 21, a 52.4% clip. Free throws, the NATOs were right behind, a 75% margin, 9 of 12. Pfeiffer was 17 of 22, a 77.3% margin. So they shot 10 more free throws, but the clip was not too far off. 18 turnovers for the NATOs, only 10 for Pfeiffer. Points off turnovers is where the NATOs really were hurt, though. 25 for Pfeiffer and 7 for the Tornadoes. Rebounds fairly even. NATOs actually won that one, 32-29. 8 assists for the Tornadoes, half of the amount that Pfeiffer had was 16. 8 steals for Pfeiffer, 4 for Brevard, 16 fouls for the NATOs, 17 for Pfeiffer. Bench points, NATOs being outscored by 15, 35-20. Points in the paint pretty even, 36-34 in favor of Pfeiffer, and fast break points pretty even, 13-12 in favor of the Tornadoes. So the NATOs now on the end that you don't want to be on a 4-game losing streak. They fall to 4-10, 0-3 in the conference, and they've got to turn things around pretty quickly here. They've got NC Wesleyan on the road this Saturday at 4 o'clock. NC Wesleyan was actually who Pfeiffer had played in their last game and lost to 80-60. So the NATO's got to try and turn things around as we head into conference play. A tough loss here tonight to Pfeiffer, but Coach Lee Burgess and the guys are going to have to regroup. That's about all for this one. NATO's the tough one, falling to 1-7 all-time against Pfeiffer in program history. An eye-popping stat there. Record time all-wise against the Falcons. But nonetheless, they get a chance to go at it again on Saturday against another USA South foe in NC Wesleyan. And until then, this is Brady Penn signing off.